It's News Thursday. I'm going to be talking about Capcom, Battlefront 2 news. Nintendo has a little bit of an announcement, and Sony's making a profit. Welcome back to Daily Gamer Opinion. I am Joe the Widget Wilson, and today I'm going to be doing the news. Oh, this way. I'm going to be starting a News Thursday for when there's enough news to really talk about. And happy Thursday, everybody. I'm going to try to keep doing this on Thursdays. All right, let's get right into the news. Capcom, they have been teasing a major title due out before March 2018. They mentioned their plans to launch a major title. They listed it in their strategies and plans overview for the current fiscal year. If you guys don't know, last week was the game industry's and most major companies' fiscal reporting. So they have to report their numbers and things like that for the year. So there was a lot of things in the news about that. Those that are publicly traded. Private companies like Bethesda, ZeniMax, don't have to report anything. Obviously, they did not reveal what this major title was. We don't know if it's previously announced games, such as Resident Evil 2 Remake or something unannounced. But we do know that they have some kind of major title due to be released before March 31st of 2018. Yeah, I don't know why I put this in the news, but just to let you guys know, if you're big Capcom fans, there's a big title that they're planning on coming out with, and I'm willing to bet it's going to have something to do with Resident Evil. This seems to be their big seller right now. Next on the news, DICE states that the one thing they wanted to add in Star Wars Battlefront 2 was depth, something they completely lacked in Battlefront 1. I am a big Star Wars fan, and I hated Battlefront. They had no story mode, which was the stupidest thing I've ever seen a company do, ever. And it was very boring and very buggy, which is typical EA. Star Wars Battlefront was released by 2015 by DICE. Yes, DICE is the actual company that makes it. They're the third party. The first party, they're the third party. The second party, EA, is their publisher. So you have the developer and the publisher. So EA is ultimately responsible for pushing DICE to release a game before it was ready, which they do for every one of the companies that they work with. Star Wars Battlefront wasn't a bad game financially. It did sell well, but it got terrible reviews, a major fan outcry, mostly due to the fact that it had no story whatsoever. Luckily, DICE has heard the message loud and clear, and they remembered it while developing Battlefront 2, and they're releasing it with a major single-player campaign, and a campaign in general, which is smart. However, I am a little concerned that they are releasing it through all generations style. There's one point of it that could be really cool, like what happened between episode 6 and 7, which they do address in Battlefront 2. On the gameplay side, this is a quote directly from Bernie Dimer, a DICE creative director on Battlefront. We said, okay, we have the core gameplay. We've got it nailed. Sorry guys, you don't. There are things we need to improve and we want to build on, but the main thing we wanted to add was depth. Give more reasons to stick around. Try out different heroes. Try out different trooper types. And that's why we introduced classes. There's a little bit more variety in the team play. Not everybody is the same, and you can now form your own squad if that is your thing. Okay. Battlefront 1 problems. No story. No diversity. No customization. No squads. It was a shell of a game. It was the most terrible shooter I've ever played. Well, one of them. I rank that in my bottom 5 shooters of all time. So they have a lot to fix for Battlefront 2. I am going to look at it because I'm a big Star Wars fan and I have high hopes, but I wish DICE would get away from EA so they can actually make a quality game. But anyway, moving on. Nintendo confirms no major E3 event this year. Uh-oh. And they've also revealed the 1-2 Switch shipment numbers. A part of Nintendo's latest earnings report, the company confirmed that it will not host a large-scale press conference at E3 this year. They didn't do one last year either. But you would think with the Switch that they would actually want to do something like that to show off all the new titles that they're coming out with and all the new third-party partners that they don't have. Now, they're going to be avoiding that. Why? Because they don't have that stuff. Nintendo will be at E3, however. Nintendo America will present further information on our plans at a later date. That's what Nintendo President Tatsumi Kimishima said. They need to fire Tatsumi. If it's anything like last year, fans can expect Nintendo Treehouse livestream event or some kind of other presentation featuring commentary and insight from developers and executives. So we're not going to really see much. Really not. They don't have much to show. I still get a whole lot of insider information regarding Nintendo. A lot. And the game industry in general. I see a lot of reports that other people don't. And Nintendo is not what you guys think. The reason why it outsold the Nintendo Wii is because they shipped more units than Nintendo Wii by more than triple. If you guys remember correctly, the Wii sold out everywhere in the first hour. And I want you guys to all remember that, yeah, it sold very, very well for the first year. Very well. Second year, it collapsed. Because there was nothing for it. The gimmick was over. People got bored of it. It's going to happen again. It seems like a lot of people, especially in the game industry, have a very short-term memory. The reported remarks, he revealed that, Kimishima prepared remarks. He revealed that the 1-2 Switch is approaching 1 million copies shipped, while Snipper Clips, cut it out, together has already passed more than 350,000 downloads. Super Bomberman R, meanwhile, has eclipsed 500,000 copies shipped. Guys, that's really not good numbers. In terms of the game industry, that is not good numbers. That's not enough to incorporate the cost of making those titles. 1-2 Switch was so stupid and small, they made a profit on that. Oh, and by the way, Nintendo didn't make a profit yet. Yeah, they sold a lot of units, but I want you guys to remember how much it cost them to make that machine, to develop it. They have not made a profit. They are far from, and, well, I wish you luck, Nintendo, but I don't see it going to happen. That's the way the industry rolls. However, speaking of profits, Sony is making money again. Sony is making money. According to the AP, Sony netted over $250 million in profit between January and March, thanks in part to PS4 game sales. Sony's report stated that the PlayStation division sales were up 6.3% year on year. It is hard for a hardware manufacturer to make money. A little known secret that you guys may not know, but video game hardware is sold at a loss. Xbox One, PlayStation 4, even Nintendo Switch, they're sold at a loss. They rely on software and peripheral sales to make their money. If they did not do that, you would have to pay $700 for a PlayStation 4, $800 for an Xbox One, $700 for a Nintendo Switch. So they cut down the prices and suffered a loss with the hopes and market guarantee that when you buy a system, you're also buying software and peripherals for it, netting a couple $100 more. And that is likely the case, and is generally the case every which way you look at it. How many of you guys can say that you went and bought a system and didn't buy a single game for it or an extra controller? And have continued to do so since. That's how they make their money, guys. It's from the software and from the hardware, the peripheral sales. The makers of the Burnout franchise is back on the news again. The guys that made the awesome Burnout vehicle destruction games that I loved so much, especially the ones where you would have to crash and see how much damage you can do. Anyway, Three Fields Entertainment is back on the market. They're back in the news. The studio made up of former Burnout franchise developers has announced Danger Zone, a new 3D vehicular destruction game due out digitally for PlayStation 4 and PC via Steam in May for about $12.99 US. That's £9.99. Call of Duty World War II is making waves in the industry with nothing more than a simple teaser and quite normal zombies. The teaser came out, people got very excited, but a lot of analysts have found, and I've looked at it, that it looks very similar to their old World War II title, just revamped. So I'm thinking it's going to be around the same story, but revamped with new content and a bigger focus on the multiplayer. The rumor mill states that the reason why they're doing it like this is because they had a different game in development. They usually start the games 3 years prior in development, and then they release them. That's why they had two different companies making different Call of Duties that released subsequent years. Call of Duty World War II is a whole different manufacturer, whole different company this time. And the reason why they started making this, and it was a rush job, because the Black Ops 3 and the newest Infinite Warfare have tanked. They were terrible. The last good title, in my opinion, was Advanced Warfare, and that was pushing it. But I really did enjoy Advanced Warfare. Actually, it was my favorite one of the bunch, next to Call of Duty 4. But the industry and fans have been praising them to bringing out Call of Duty back to its roots. So we'll see how this goes. I am so glad they are not doing the futuristic wall climbing, class making crap that they put out before. I love Call of Duty, guys. I've bought every single one, played the crud out of every single one with my son, except for the last one I did not buy. It's the first one I've ever not bought. And I did buy the Black Ops 3, but it was terrible and did not play it very much. I was Prestige 7 in Advanced Warfare, so I do play them. And that is it for the news today. Hope you enjoyed that. If you like the Thursday news sessions, put in the comments below, and I'll make sure I'm going to probably do them anyway, or keep doing them, but I'd like to know if you guys like them or not. If you guys don't like them, I'll stop doing them. But that was around the news, and that was my opinion. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow.